Welcome to the HIT Submit to Benefit event where learners become leaders. Today we'll walk you through the application process to move you one step closer to joining the Bulldog family. Before we begin, please turn on your closed captioning at the bottom of your screen if you need them. Here's how. On your screen, click on Live Transcript and select Show Subtitles. We'll also put the instructions in the chat.
That's right. This is your opportunity to have your questions answered by the experts. But first, let's do some introductions, and we'll start with our favorite display of the MSU experience.
Here, there's a spirit that makes people move a little differently. We're the all-nighters, the crime fighters, and the rocket igniters. The adventure seekers, the record breakers, and the noise makers. We innovate, we lead, we inspire. We're family, bound by a common bond that's changing the world. Mississippi State University, where we ring true.
Hi, I'm Mindy and I'm the recruiting coordinator for Mississippi State Online. Thank you for your interest in graduate education at Mississippi State University. Our institution provides the academic, professional, leadership, and social opportunities to support a thriving, dynamic, and diverse student body. Today we have some helpful tips to help you complete your application. We want to answer all of your questions that you may have today. Please drop your questions in the chat. We will also have a Q&A at the end of the session. With that being said, I'll pass it off to Robbie.
Thanks, Mindy. Hi, I'm Robbie, and I'm the Admissions and Enrollment Management Assistant Coordinator for the Graduate School. I'd like to begin our session by defining the graduate degree. A graduate degree is an advanced academic degree that is pursued after you have successfully completed an undergraduate degree, which is oftentimes a 4-year degree. Please note that you cannot officially begin a graduate degree until you have completed your undergraduate degree.
Now we'll quickly go over today's agenda. We'll walk you through the graduate school application, unique online opportunities, helpful tips, and a Q&A session at the end. We have representatives standing by to answer your questions, so please feel free to type them in the chat.
Next, we will review your application timeline and a helpful checklist to keep you on track. Pay close attention to the steps required of you before beginning the application process. First, you can request information about your desired graduate program from MSU Graduate School and/or MSU Online. Then you may research the graduate program by reviewing the academic department's website, contacting the graduate coordinator, graduate faculty, and even graduate students in the program. Once you are ready, please submit your application by going to our graduate school's website. Next, you will receive your decision letter through your application portal. Once you have been admitted, you will connect with your advisor and enroll. And finally, it's time for you to begin your journey as a Bulldog. Now, let's review the application checklist, as there are some things needed to submit your application and to complete your application. To submit your application, you will need all of your personal information, all of your school's information, and contacts for 3 references. Once you have submitted your application, you will need to submit the non-refundable application fee, which is $60 for domestic students and $80 for international students. All transcripts beginning with your bachelor's degree and any coursework completed afterwards, a statement of purpose, and any supplemental documents such as test scores, writing sample, or portfolio. Now let's begin the application process. Please note that we will also post a link to the application instructions so that you can refer back to them later. So let's get started. To begin our graduate school application, we will go to grad.msstate.edu and we will select the Apply Now button in the upper right-hand corner. You will then be redirected to the Apply page where you will select the entry term for your desired graduate program. I am going to select the first term that is available to me. You will then need to either create an application account or log in as a returning user. If you create an application account, you will need your email address and you will also need to enter your date of birth. You will then be sent a PIN code to your email address for you to finalize your application account. I am going to log in as a returning user. You would then click Start a New Application, and then you will also open an application. The very first page is the welcome page, which just provides you with some general information about the application, also about the application payment, and other important resources. You would then click Continue. And the very first page of information is about you, your personal information, who you are, where you're from, your citizenship status, and your ethnicity. You would then click Continue. The next page is about your residency information. Again, just some more information about where you're from. And if you're an international student, this page may look slightly different as it would ask country-specific questions. It will also ask about some military questions, and then you'll just click Continue to move on. The next page is the admissions information page. This is where you will select your campus, your term, and your program. Please note that depending on the campus you select, the programs that are available will be filtered. I selected the online education campus, and I also selected the first program and term that was available to me. If you scroll down, it's going to ask you some additional questions about your employment status at MSU, your previous status as an MSU student, and just some additional questions. And I'm going to click Continue. The next page is for your educational background. This is where you will list all of the schools that you have attended, beginning with your bachelor's degree and any coursework completed afterwards. You will select Add Institution to begin listing each school that you attended. You can list the dates attended, the level of study you completed, and you also have the option to upload an unofficial transcript if you have it available. And if your institution is not listed in the drop-down menu, you can enter 009999 if it's an international school, or 009998 if it's a domestic school. And you just select the option in the drop-down menu and then just change the name to your school that was not listed. And then you will save. Once you have entered all of your school information, you will see it listed below. And then you are ready to move on to the next screen. The next page is for supplemental information. Just some additional questions about how you plan to fund your graduate education, how did you hear about us, your parents' educational history, and you also have the option to upload supplemental documents if you have them available, such as your statement of purpose, your resume, and test scores. Please note that the GRE and GMAT is not required for admission. However, these test scores may be required if you are seeking funding. I'm going to go ahead and continue with the application. The next page is for recommendation letters. You will then need to list the contact information for 3 references who you would like to submit recommendation letters on your behalf. Again, you need at minimum their name, their organization, and their email address. Once you have entered those in, you'll then press Continue. The next page is for contact information. We ask that you read this page carefully and answer these questions truthfully. Once you have completed this page, please move forward by hitting Continue. The next page is the signature page, just making sure that everything you have entered so far on your application is accurate to the best of your knowledge. Once you are ready to move forward, please sign your name by typing in the box and then press Continue. The final page is the review page. This lets you know if there are any errors in your application that you need to go back and correct. Anything that is identified in red must be corrected in order for the application to be submitted. Anything that is in orange is recommended for you to complete, but you do not have to fix it in order for your application to be submitted. I have a few orange errors, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and click Finalize Application and Pay. Please note that once you click Finalize Application and Pay, you will not be able to go back and make any changes to your application. So please make sure that you review your application carefully before selecting Finalize Application and Pay. Once you have selected Finalize Application and Pay, you will be redirected to the Application Payment portal. After you have submitted your application payment, you will then be redirected to your Application Status portal, where you will be able to see the program that you applied for, the term that you applied for, and also your application checklist for all of the documents that are required to complete your application. Anything that is listed with a red X means that we still need that document. If it has a green check mark, then that item has been fulfilled. You also have the contact information for your admissions assistant in your upper right-hand corners if you have any questions about your application. And if you scroll to the bottom, you also have the option to upload any additional documents that are needed. That completes the application process for graduate students. Mindy will now discuss additional information for those of you who are looking to pursue an online graduate degree.
When we tell the world about Mississippi State Online, we're not just talking about faculty quality, social opportunities, or course variety. It's so much bigger than that. It's an attitude, it's a mindset, it's an experience we're inviting the world to discover. Due to the flexibility of Mississippi State Online, you're able to complete your degree at your desired pace. There are dozens of graduate programs that are available online. Students can pursue a master's degree, doctorate, or certificate. Many specialized degrees are available in business, engineering, education, geosciences, and much more. Programs admit at certain semesters, and others will allow students to begin in the spring, summer, or fall. In addition to the variety of programs available, Mississippi State Online is an affordable education experience. All students enrolled for courses at Mississippi State Online are awarded in-state tuition for the terms in which you're enrolled. Feel free to contact me at mindy.wolf@msstate.edu. We'll also place that information in the chat, or contact Mississippi State Online. Letters of recommendation should be professional recommenders such as an employer, a former employer, or colleagues. Personal recommenders should not be included as a recommender. Once your recommendation letters have been sent in, the graduate school will email you and each recommender will be checked off your checklist. Your statement of purpose needs to be all about you and how you're the best candidate for the program. You need to share everything about your academic background, why you're pursuing the degree you're interested in, what you would like to do with the degree upon completion, career aspirations, etc. Please also include the exact degree along with any concentrations, if applicable, in case your statement gets separated from your application. If you're interested in attending Mississippi State, but you need a flexible option, remember, visit us at online.msstate.edu for more information on how to earn your degree online. This is an affordable option. All students pay in-state tuition. If you want to speak with an expert, we have program coordinators available to help you get started.
There we have it. You have now successfully completed the first step in your graduate journey. This concludes the video portion of our event. Our team is still available to answer your questions in the chat. Here's the contact info for the graduate school and for MSU Online if you need further assistance. Feel free to take a screenshot of our contact information for future reference. Thanks again for joining today. We will hang out in the chat until your questions are answered. We want you to join the Bulldog family.